Hi folks, I'm Doug at Dizzy Lizzie's, and today I'm just going to say about when I break a machine down, why do I do it? Simple fact of the matter is, certain parts that I can put for customers, but it's not every machine you can take apart and say, I've got a use for this, somebody might have that later on. This is from a Stihl KM90R. There was a video I did recently where it come in and somebody bought a car boots out and the machine was absolutely knackered, but there's still some good parts on it that I can use, and it's surprising what little parts I can use. Right, the first thing I took off is the pole trimmer head. I haven't stripped it down because basically it's easy to keep it in one piece. But you can use everything on it apart from the casing here. The blades are good, maybe some of the bits and pieces in there, but these are an older head, so they don't really come in. So I'll just put that to one side for later, if anybody needs it. Now we've got the shaft. On here you've got this part, which is where the tool's attached to. Quite often these get damaged, this falls out, whatever. The handle, that gets broken. Sometimes the shaft wears out. And you've got that little bit there. So, again, that's another pile of stuff to keep together that's handy. Engine cover. I've got a customer in mind, he's got half one down here. Because where it gets dropped and used and the exhaust heats it up and melts it. They are a regular fit, so they got fit on a fair few machines, so it's handy to keep that. Engine front cowling. Okay, this one's rusty, but it can clean up. But what happens is, you've got a bearing in there. You can't buy the individual parts, and if you do, well, you used to be able to do it, but now that comes as one piece. It's in good serviceable using, because you can't hear the bearings. So, that's another piece to keep. Pull cord is at the bottom of the machine. Quite often these gets damaged and regularly the springs get broken. This all wears out. Something you just clean it up, put it straight back on another machine. There, sir, machine's done. This bit here goes underneath. I have very rarely ever had one of them replaced, so that may be something not to keep. Trigger goes along the shaft. Quite often this gets damaged, the safety mechanism gets damaged, the trigger gets damaged, the handle gets damaged, and you've also got the cable in there. As long as it's not frayed at the end, that can be reused again. Exhaust. Do you know something? I don't think I've ever replaced an exhaust on a machine. Might be able to peel a gasket off the back of it, but otherwise, unless you really want to, I wouldn't bother keeping the exhaust. Fuel tank. Well, you've got the breather there. You've got that piece there which the fuel pipes go into. You've got the fuel cap, but again, I've never really changed the fuel tank. I think I might have done 2 in 15 years, and that's because somebody dropped them. Flywheel. Never done one of them before. Never changed a flywheel. I've changed the Woodruff key because it got sheared on a machine, but not on a combi unit like this. So that'd be something for the alley recycling bin. Engine. Well, to be honest with you, there is absolutely nothing in there. Maybe the pull cord starter on there. Very rarely do they get damaged because it's solid. And as the engine's knackered, there's no reason to keep it. This will be stripped down for alley, metal side, aluminium side. Maybe the cover and that bolt there, keep it. But apart from that, no use whatsoever. So that's another one for the scrap bin. ignition coil. I know it works, but very rarely have I had to change one of these. The only time I've had to change them is because this got damaged and had to be cut down, and I couldn't find an extension for it. Now we get to what is really handy in some respects. Air filter cover. Never replaced one of these, but they're always handy just in case. Engine block. Carburetor goes this side, engine that side. Yes, I've actually changed these, so it's worthwhile keeping hold of. Air filter cover. Yeah, the amount of times I've had these come in and they're smashed, or someone said, oh, it fell off, I need it replacing. Carburetor. Well, I don't know if the machine run because it didn't have enough compression, but it could be handy for things like the choke knob, screws, bolts, piece and pieces. You never know, I might even clean it up and see if it works, if I have get stuck for a carburetor. This little shield here goes upside there. Mixture screws, the amount of times they've fallen off. That's worth handy. Little clip. That holds this on to this piece. By there. They get damaged and they get disappeared. Fuel bung holder. Where you've got your fuel tank, these fit over the top of there. The amount of times they come in, they're actually worn to pieces, or for some reason they've shredded and fallen off, or occasionally you take them off and they drop and you can't find one. But you get two of them, they're worth holding on to. Now, this is where I will mainly use what I've found here. It's all these nuts and bolts. You think nuts and bolts, what's so special about them? Well, that's an exhaust bolt. And that's an exhaust bolt because I can see the rust on it. But these are special bolts, nuts, washers, everything. Can you see there, if I can get it, there's a serration on the head. Can you see it? And that helps grip it into the plastic when you tighten it down. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 of those screws. They're about 80p each. So there's nearly 16 quid's worth. That is one of the reasons why I break them down. Not because of the coils or the air filters and stuff like that. It's because of these little nuts and bolts that still charge you so much for, because they are needed. They are bolt specific for their machines. So there you are, folks. I hope you found that was helpful. If you liked it, hit the like and subscribe button. It's much appreciated. And I've got plenty of these boxes with bits because the other machine I've taken down. So that's one way you've got to store them. Take care and see you next video. Bye.